I'm Alan Dale, and this is the We Are Tourism podcast right here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. I want to tell you, I've been talking to some folks that are bringing great experiences to the world, and it all exists right here in this beautiful province. And talking about great experiences, I'm so glad to have my next guest on. So, sir, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Okay, I'm Craig March. We moved back to Newfoundland after being away for about 20 years, and found a property here and started and purchased it. It's called Cliff's Edge Retreat on the Southern Shore.
Okay, so down the southern, whereabouts on the southern shore?
So it's just past Torres Cove.
Okay.
And actually, you turn off the main highway, and it's about 4 kilometers down towards down to the end of the road towards the ecological reserve.
Okay, wow.
So it's nice because as people drive down there and people who stay there feel like they've been away on a vacation somewhere else. It's kind of nice to go with the islands. That's
when you turn off that highway and you go down there, man, oh man, the scenery starts to get pretty impressive. And you're looking right out on that?
Absolutely.
Cliff's Edge. Sounds like you're on the Cliff's Edge.
Yeah, so we have cliff houses right on the cliff. We have a whole bunch of cottages down there, and it's overlooking the ecological reserve.
Wow.
So, and one of the things that we did kind of in our design when we renovated, the inspiration for the design was the Nordic spas that are popping up all across Canada. So we upped the game, and we built a little kind of mini Nordic spa on each of the cottages. So it's a weatherproof deck.
Okay.
Hot tubs and saunas, that sort of thing.
Right.
So guests can have their own Nordic spa again, which is the next level above a public Nordic spa.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many units do you have down there?
Well, we have 22 units in total.
Wow.
Okay. We have 10 cottages.
Yeah.
And we have 2 which I'll call our models, and they have the hot tub and sauna. So they're kind of the full model. The other ones have just a hot tub, and we have some that we're still renovating and adding things to it. But what we're finding is that the ones with a hot tub and sauna with the covered deck is booked year round.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things in tourism that you'll hear a lot is that, okay, well, the weather's bad here, so that's why our tour season is so short.
Right.
But for us, we said, no, we're going to mitigate that.
Right.
So that's what we're finding now is that people can come in the middle of the winter and literally in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And be in their hot tub enjoying the outdoors.
Well, I tell you, like when you go down to that part of the world, it doesn't matter what kind of day it is, the scenery is still spectacular.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If it's blowing a gale, it's still spectacular down there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what was the inspiration coming back 20 years away, and what brought you back to that part of the world?
Interesting story. We came back. I was working in Ottawa for the past 12 years, okay? And we came back to Newfoundland. No intentions of starting another business. Just kind of thinking, okay, maybe we'd buy a house and retire and that sort of thing. But we found this particular property, and one thing led to another, and we ended up renovating it, and here we are today.
Wow.
So what I tell people is that we're just getting started. I mean, one of the things about being away and then coming back to Newfoundland, it kind of gives you a fresh perspective, okay? And I look at all of the great things that Newfoundland Tourism has done in terms of their marketing and putting us on the map, but I still think that we're very young and very early in the stages. When I look at places like Ireland or Iceland and what they've done to their tourism industry, I think that we have more potential than what they have there. And if you look at some of the factors, I mean, look how close we are to major markets. Okay, and people from Toronto, Ottawa, New York. I had a couple of consultants who actually came and stayed at my place for a week, and they said to me, Craig, if people from New York knew what you had here, he said, be full all the time, just from that one market. Right?
It's so true, right? And this speaks to us telling our story, right? Telling our story and showcasing, because you're right, I think we have more to offer than Iceland, and Iceland's on fire right now.
Absolutely.
With their tour. I shouldn't say that, they got a volcano, but Iceland is really booming right now with their tourism sector. And you're right, we have all of that and more in this beautiful province. And the people here are just so inviting when you come and visit. I want to tell you, we need to get some imagery of your place and have a look at that, because it sounds like just a wonderful, wonderful place. You must be excited about the growth of the company.
Yeah, we're excited about where we're going, and we're still trying to figure out, kind of what the best angle is. And I think for people in major cities, that's close proximity to here. I was one of those people, so I'm kind of looking through the eyes of guests who would want to come here.
Right.
You get to a point where, okay, we want to go somewhere for a break, sort of thing, right? And most of these people have already been down south. They've already done it, and they're looking for somewhere else. And I think we have it.
Right.
We just have to build to it.
Right.
And this aligns with Newfoundland Tourism. They recognize that, we can have an extended season. Well, currently we're year-round where we are. So weekends we're full right now with the local market. So we know as we continue to build, there'll be more and more people coming from outside the province, which is the goal. The other thing that they talk about is building, building spaces. So what we've done is that we've been, we're fortunate because our team, we've all have complementary skills, and we were able to put something together that complements the environment.
Right.
Okay, so that's kind of how, that's where things have landed. But, in order for people like myself and others to be able to achieve what the tourism visions is stating and their objectives, there's definitely a higher level, easier access to funding to do that.
Right.
There's no shortage of innovation, and vision for what needs to be done. But we definitely need. That's to me that's one of the missing pieces.
I want to tell you, I really enjoy your perspective. I enjoy what you've built and what you continue to build. This is what the face of tourism looks like in Newfoundland and Labrador. Thank you very much for being in the conversation.
Thank you.